If you have $350 that you can freely spend on a handgun without the wife getting berserk and you don't find any good deals on the used market today, how long do you think you can hold on to it? If you absolutely have to have a concealed carry handgun today to defend yourself and your loved ones with, and all you really have is $350 and you don't see any Gen 1 Glocks on the used market, what are your options? Just as a quick disclaimer, the word cheap to me doesn't mean cheaply made, at least not as far as the handguns in this video are concerned. If you absolutely have to have a handgun today that is combat ready, but you only have $350 or less and you can't find any good deals on the used market, here's a list of what, in my opinion, are the top 5 cheap handguns that don't jam. Stoeger STR-9C. The full-size STR-9 was followed by the Stoeger STR-9C compact model, which has a 3.8-inch barrel compared to the 4.17-inch full-size barrel. The overall length is shortened by just a hair over half an inch. The compact carries 13+1 rounds where allowed. 10-round magazines are available for people who live in places where magazine capacity is limited. The total weight of the gun is 24.5 ounces. The frame is constructed of fiberglass reinforced technopolymer designed to be light but strong and durable. Stoeger put all the features into the STR-9C you would expect to find in a carry or home defense gun. Chambered for the 9mm, the STR-9C is a striker-fired handgun that is only slightly bigger than a Glock 26 and features a similar black nitride finish that makes it highly resistant to corrosion. Its frame is designed to use interchangeable backstrap grips for a custom fit, while its barrel, which measures 3 8/10 of an inch, allows for easy concealment and quick draw. As far as ergonomics, the STR-9C's grip angle is engineered to match its drift-adjustable 3-dot sight system, which, combined with its low-bore axis design, reduces muzzle rise for quicker target reacquisition and faster follow-up shots. The company offers optional tritium night sights for low-light shooting. Stoeger made the gun affordable by offering different configurations. The STR-9C makes for a really potent option for concealed carry self-defense. Number 4. Canik TP9SA 9mm. The Canik TP9SA is made in Turkey and is a polymer-framed striker-fired pistol chambered in 9mm Luger, and one of the reasons it has been getting a lot of press is it seems to be a very well-made pistol with a suggested retail of only $339. While getting performance and quality on a budget is a goal for many first-time gun buyers, the reality is difficult or impossible to achieve. The TP9SA seems to be the first legitimate answer to that quest in a full-size pistol. In addition to the low price, the TP9SA has several positive qualities that make it worthy of consideration, including interchangeable backstraps, 18 rounds of 9mm in high-quality magazines, and perhaps the best trigger you'll find on any striker-fired pistol at any price. I'm not kidding. While the original TP9 looked very much like a Walther P99, the new Canik TP9SA, especially its slide, is a blending of designs and looks very familiar. While some have said it appears to be the love child of a Smith & Wesson M&P and a Walther PPQ, I think it most closely resembles the new H&K VP9, only with a magazine release US consumers want. This is a full-size pistol. It sports a 4.46-inch barrel and is 7.55 inches overall. It's rather tall at 5.7 inches. It weighs 28.8 ounces empty. By complete accident, I discovered that the magazine bodies for the Canik TP9SA dimensionally seem to be identical to SIG P226 magazine bodies. The index holes are in a different location and the mag catch cutouts are a slightly different shape. The TP9SAs are larger, but otherwise they seem identical. My SIG magazine wouldn't seat in the Canik due to the smaller mag catch cutout, but the Canik TP9SA mag seated and, at least during my brief test, ran just fine in my SIG P226 SAO. The original TP9 was a bit ugly, with poorly thought out sights, but I found it to be completely reliable. The new Canik TP9SA seems a completely different animal. In quality and workmanship, it seems the equal to just about any other striker-fired gun on the market, and in my opinion looks much better than the original. Just because something is inexpensive doesn't mean it's cheaply made. The Canik TP9SA is inexpensive mostly because labor costs in Turkey are much lower than in the US. Number 3. Rock Island GI Model 1911. The Rock Island Armory GI is as bare bones as a 1911 can get, and they are produced in the Philippines. After battling Moro tribesmen in the Philippines, the US military realized it needed a stouter handgun as opposed to the .38 revolvers. The result, to make a long story short, was the adoption of the .45 ACP cartridge and the M1911 handgun. Now, you can't get much more iconic in an American handgun than a 1911. The Rock Island Armory GI 1911 is the most bare-bones 1911 you can get. It's a gun designed to be simple and to mimic the 1911s of the first couple of world wars. Rock Island's 1911 GI model is sure not going to be voted the most beautiful 1911 of the year, but it is built to be functional, and functional it is. I have shot everything from simple FMJs to Golden Sabers through these handguns and have had almost no issues besides the break-in period. Accuracy is acceptable for a GI model, and the price can't be beat for an entry-level 1911. If you're the type who likes old-school cool, then the Rock Island Armory would be perfect for you. It keeps things simple without sacrificing safety, as you do get all the modern safety measures a modern firearm should have. Number 2. Beretta Pico. The Beretta Pico claims the number 2 spot on my list for 3 reasons. 1, it's the most aesthetically pleasing handgun for the price, in my opinion at least. 2, for a brand name handgun built by one of the most respected firearms manufacturing company in the world, it's one of the most affordable on the market. And 3, it's rated for overpressure ammo, which practically makes it the most durable handgun on this list. In fact, it's one of the only 2 handguns in the world chambered for the .380 ACP with an included manual that says it's totally safe to shoot plus P380 ACP rounds in it. The other being the Kahr CW380, which sadly didn't make it to my list because it's priced higher than $350. Now, I know some of you gun nerds out there might say there is no such thing as a .380 ACP plus P because SAMI currently only has standard pressure load data published for the .380 ACP, and there's no specification for overpressure loads as of yet. That would be a valid argument, but it wouldn't change the fact that there are at least 2 ammo companies that manufacture plus P rounds for the .380 ACP. Buffalo Bore and Underwood. And they don't recommend you try and shoot such rounds out of a handgun that is not rated for overpressure loads. Well, if you have a Beretta Pico, you can shoot those loads with no problems, just don't overdo it. So, just how affordable is the Beretta Pico? If you go to the manufacturer's website, you'll see that it has an MSRP of only $300. Granted, if you go to online gun stores, you'll find that they don't have any of them in stock, but with a low MSRP, you should be able to find one selling at your local gun store for a few bucks less. Heck, you could buy it for $350 and it would still be a pretty good deal, considering how durable these little handguns are. Number 1. Smith & Wesson M&P Shield M2.0. It was around a decade ago when Smith & Wesson introduced the first of their M&P Shield line of polymer-framed pistols, and when they did, it took the handgun enthusiasts community by storm. Their M&P Shield line of pistols would earn the reputation of being one of the best bang-for-buck polymer-framed handguns on the market in the succeeding years, and Smith & Wesson would end up producing these pistols by the millions. While the first generation of M&P Shield pistols weren't nearly as reliable as Glocks, they offered steel sights, which many people like better than the plastic sights on Glocks. They also featured slightly better ergonomics and a loaded chamber indicator, which some didn't like, but it was designed for newbies, so it wasn't so bad. And similar to Glocks, Smith & Wesson M&P pistols also have a low-bore axis, which, as I previously mentioned when I talked about the Stoeger STR-9C, makes for faster target reacquisition and faster follow-up shots by reducing muzzle flip. But what really elevated the M&P Shield to Glock's levels of status and recognition was the price. Glocks are already competitively priced, but M&P Shield pistols were just a tad bit more affordable, which made them a great alternative to Glocks. Like all other firearms, though, the M&P Shield was not without issues, 2 of which were considered by many to be real deal-breakers. 1, the inclusion of a manual safety, which made it so that as small as these pistols are, they can't be carried as a pocket gun. And 2, the trigger reset was terribly long. Thankfully, these issues were fixed in 2017 upon the release of the second generation M&P Shield, which the company labeled as M2.0. With the major problems ironed out, it would be safe to assume that Smith & Wesson would charge a premium for such well-built polymer handguns. And if you head on over to their website, you might wonder why these guns made it to my list with their $505 MSRP.